Hello everyone, and welcome to a little bit of a different type of video here on the channel today. Of course, my name is Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman, and I have my lovely girlfriend. You might know her as Thistlebones, you might know her as Honeyskull Cosplay. It's Jane. Say hi, Jane.
Hi.
You can see we are here. Hello, hello. And yes, this is a little bit of a real life video. Why? What is happening? Why is there all this food? Well, I will explain. So, Jane and I had a little bit of a sickness. I won't say the exact name in the beginning of the video because who knows if this is still an algorithmic no-no. You know what we're talking about. Something that's very similar to the flu, but it's not the flu, and it hit you pretty hard. Well, it hit me pretty hard. It hit Jane pretty hard as well. She's largely over it at this point. I'm taking longer to recover because I developed my symptoms later, and I take a longer time to recover from these things because of being a cancer survivor, which is awesome. But one of the symptoms that we both experienced is we lost our sense of taste and we lost our sense of smell. Pretty common symptom that people reported a lot experiencing the vid. And I am still not able to really taste anything or smell anything properly. So I had the idea, well, this isn't something that you can just do normally. We can't just turn off our sense of taste. We can't just turn off our sense of smell. And what's interesting, something that I noticed while I was eating, as you know, you need to survive, was I could still taste flavor concepts, I guess you could say. And Jane reported this as well. Like, we can taste that something is sweet. The concept of sweetness is still there. The concept of spiciness, of saltiness, of bitter, savory, all that type of stuff is there. But I can't, and Jane could not, identify the actual flavors beyond that. So I figured, why not make the most of this situation and describe what different types of sweet are when they're just isolated in my brain, when I can't get distracted by other parts of the flavor profile. We have some Ben & Jerry's topped salted caramel brownie ice cream. Very traditionally sweet, kind of that creamy type deal going on with a few different types of sweetness in there. Then I have sweet mesquite barbecue party-size kettle-cooked potato chips. I'm a big fan of barbecue potato chips. Jane, not as much.
Nope.
But I figured because they were sweet and they'd have that kind of sweet, smoky, spicy, salty, barbecue-y type thing going on. Different type of sweet. And then finally, some extreme dark chocolate XOXOXO 88% cocoa chocolate bar that I found in the natural section. That again will have a bit more of a bittersweet, chocolatey type of thing going on. So 3 very different types of sweet, and I want to see how much they stand out from one another given my current flavor disability. Of course, because I am a man of science, we have saltines here as well to cleanse our palate in between, and also because I'm a man of science, Jane is going to be my control group. Your sense of taste, you would say, is largely back to normal comparatively?
I think so.
You can identify flavors?
Yeah, for the most part. I think certain things that are typically would be stronger to me are a bit more mild now, but I think I can taste all the flavors.
Okay. So Jane's going to be the control group since she can largely describe what things actually taste like, and then I will let you guys know first. I'll go first, and then Jane can go as the control, what it tastes like to me. Okay. So, do you have any preference on what we start with? Do you think it matters?
No, maybe the chips?
Maybe the chips. Maybe leave the ice cream for last since that's like the sweetest thing. It'll be hard to taste other sweet things.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Maybe we'll start with the chips, then we'll do some dark chocolate, and then we'll finish off with some ice cream. I think that'll be the way to go about this. So nice. And yeah, you guys will get maybe a little bit of ASMR-iness in here with the snap and crunch of things. So as a great man once said, I'm going to take a chip and eat it, and I will describe what it tastes like. So here we go. I don't know if you guys can hear the crunch. They're very crunchy. Let me get a second one because, again, it's hard for me to taste, so. So these are very mild. I can't get any saltiness out of it. It's just a very mild sweet that fades very, very fast, which I guess makes sense because it's not like a dessert chip.
Do you get any barbecue?
Not really. I get the ever so slight, like, kind of tang after, just a little bit, like you get with barbecue sauce, but I don't get that, like, sweet, smoky right off the bat. Let me get one more. Yeah, it fades very, very fast.
Yeah.
I can't taste any potato whatsoever. The oil, nothing.
Nothing.
I get, that's just very slight sweet, and then nothing, and then a little bit of sort of smoky tang on the tail end, and that's it. So, Control Group Jane, would you like to take a chip and eat it?
Oh yeah. That's barbecue right away.
Is it really very strong right off the bat? Very interesting. Can you describe the flavor profile at all?
It is sweeter than some other barbecue chips I've had.
Okay.
It's not super salty. I'll take another one.
These are pretty high quality chips, so it's probably not like loaded with oil and salt to artificially enhance the flavor.
Just reminds me of like baby back ribs, like kind of barbecue sauce you get on that.
Right. Not like super potent, not drowned in it, but it's
No.
just got that like smoky. Yeah, and see, I can't get any of that. It's literally just the fact that it's sweet and then that sort of like smoky aftertaste.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, well that's the chips. Moving on to something a little bit sweeter. We'll get these out of the way. We can bring the chocolate extreme dark
Yes.
into the center here. We'll break off a piece for me and a piece for Jane. All right. This is very nice chocolate. I believe you actually have some of this in the freezer as well. You
I do.
pointed out. I didn't need to get more.
Right. Well, that's the exact same chocolate that I get.
I just picked it up, so I figured it'd be good.
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually kind of gross.
Yeah, well, it is kind of gross actually, normally.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely very cocoa-y. Like, extremely cocoa-y.
So you can taste the cocoa.
Largely just in terms of the bitterness,
Yeah.
though.
These chocolate bars are pretty much just pure cocoa. It says 88%, I think, but it's not really a sweet thing.
What's interesting, there's the faintest little hint of sweet. And then it doesn't taste cocoa-y. It's just kind of bitter and sour.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't be able to tell you that was chocolate if I didn't know.
Okay.
It's just like a bitter paste almost in my
Yeah.
mouth. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah, again, which is how it kind of is normally. It's a very bitter chocolate, but I imagine when you have all your taste and smell sense, you taste a little bit more of the sweetness.
That's what I would imagine, right? So if you would care to be the control. And you know what we forgot to... I mean, not that it matters for me. I forgot to take a saltine in between.
I'll put a saltine in between.
There we go. And I will eat mine for the ice cream. Now, notably, because there's really nothing else to them, the saltines, I can taste, and they remind me exactly of the last time I had saltines.
Oh, wow.
But I mean, they're
just
literally just salt and papery, crumbly dough, which doesn't really have flavor to begin with. So I guess it's not too surprising. But it was actually kind of nice. I was like, oh yes, this is what I expected this to taste like,
Something
which
normal.
is not something I've experienced in the last week. All right, Control Group Jane, taking a bite of chocolate. And really think about it, how you would describe it.
It starts off sweet, like normal chocolate. And then it gets kind of bitter and tangy as you go. And you're definitely left more with the bitterness as you finish up chewing and swallowing it.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's kind of how it was for me. Like, I got that slight sweet right at the very beginning,
Yeah.
and then
it's
it was
just
just all bitter.
sharp.
But you can taste the cocoa, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And more so at the beginning, but
Right. Yeah, I can't at all. Like I said, like, other than kind of the texture and just obviously me being able to see it, I would not be able to tell you that was chocolate.
yeah, it leaves a pretty gross aftertaste in your mouth. Yeah.
And that's all I can taste. Like, it's just that bitter, tangy sort of...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's high quality. It's definitely nearly pure cocoa, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, something that's not pure cocoa whatsoever and is absolutely going to be far sweeter is this Ben & Jerry's topped salted caramel brownie.
Oh, it looks so good.
I actually had some of this recently, so I know what it's supposed to taste like. And then now, I don't know. I've had some creamy stuff. Jane and I actually got some smoothies this morning with some bagels for breakfast. And I had a strawberry banana smoothie that I could not taste the strawberry or the banana, really, but I could tell that it was creamy and sweet. So I'm expecting this to be kind of similar. I'm kind of excited to see how it compares to that, honestly. So we both have our spoons. I will take a nice little scoop here first. And yes, it is topped with like a shell of chocolate, and then you get into the ice cream underneath. And there's little like caramel cups too, but I don't think I got any of those. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously way, way sweeter than the 80% or 88%, I think, cocoa chocolate is. I legitimately, I don't even know what, I don't know what type of ice cream this is. It's supposed to be vanilla. I could not tell you that. I could not tell you that at all. It does not taste like vanilla to me. It just tastes like creamy sweet. Again, it's like flavor concepts. But notably, it is different than the chocolate topping. I can tell the difference between the two. Like the chocolate, it has a richer sweetness to it. It's still just sweet. I can't taste the chocolate at all, but it is distinct from the vanilla ice cream for me.
Now, funnily enough, I can only taste the vanilla once I swallow it.
Oh, interesting. Well, we know that your sense of taste has not fully come back yet.
No, it's not the same.
It's a whole heck of a lot better than mine is right now, but it's still recovering. Let me actually... So I think I might be getting something similar.
I can tell the chocolate is a bit fudgy, like it's a fudgy chocolate versus something a little bit less rich.
Mm-hmm. That's actually interesting. I only get the sweet when the vanilla is on my tongue, but yeah, when I swallow it, there's actually a memory of vanilla. Like it triggers a sense of vanilla in my head.
I wonder if it has to do with the part of your tongue that it hits when you swallow.
Yeah, and what type of taste bud vanilla triggers on the tongue. That's very, very interesting. I'm going to get one of these caramel cups and try that. If you would like to do the same once I get mine, if I can do so without it fighting me tooth and nail. Jeez. All right, well, I got a little bit of chocolate and caramel cup, but... They're like really in there.
Yeah. Oh,
there you go.
One. Okay.
And that is definitely different as well. It has probably the most purely sweet, which makes sense because caramel basically is just cooked sugar. Yeah, that stands out from the vanilla creamy sort of sweet that I was getting, and then the chocolatey, which again, I describe those as if I can taste them. I really can't, but it comes across differently, which is very interesting. I think that's one of the more interesting parts of this experiment. What's it like for you?
I don't really taste any caramel.
I mean, I don't either. But it's sweeter than either of the other two. And maybe because of the texture of the caramel in the cup, it definitely triggers a different sense in my head. But I'm going off of a lot of mouthfeel with all of these things that I've been eating. My satisfaction has been gained as much from the mouthfeel of whatever it is I'm eating as the actual flavor.
Yeah, that caramel cup, I can't really... There's no strong flavor for me there, actually.
And I mean, caramel is typically, beyond just the sugariness of it, it is a more mild flavor. And I would imagine that's going to be the stuff that takes the longest for us to get back. Yeah. The stronger something is, the more I'm able to taste it for sure.
Yeah.
I made shrimp scampi actually last night for you guys who were watching. And I wasn't able to taste the complexities of something like that. You know, your buttery... Like, there's wine in it and garlic and all that type of stuff. I wasn't able to taste all the complexities, but I was able to get more of a full-bodied picture of what it's supposed to taste like than some of the other stuff that we've eaten recently. And what's interesting this is how I can tell that the vid actually like damaged our nerves for what we can and can't taste. I was so hypersensitive to the smell of the garlic when I put it in the pan. Like I couldn't really smell the garlic, but it was just garlic, and it was as if I had just licked a raw onion. Mm-hmm. Like the way it burned my nose, and my eyes immediately started to water just from the scent of the garlic with butter in a pan, which smells so good normally, was like a donkey kick to the face. It's like, oh God, I can't, my head. So it was just the newly reforming or reactivating nerves got punched.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It feels kind of raw in there for a bit when you're smelling stuff. Like when you're first starting to smell again, it's like a sharp, metallic-y type of feeling.
And it's actually similar. I just thought of this, but it's similar to what would happen to me when I was in the hospital, when I was getting my chemo and everything. The way the smell of things changed. And it's probably why I would get so nauseous, because my sense of smell was so out of whack and going haywire that things that you normally wouldn't even be able to smell, I could smell strongly and would make me sick. I actually remember yelling at my mom one time because we were driving home from the hospital, and she opened a box of Cheez-Its. You think of Cheez-Its and like, you know, they've got good flavor, but it's not something you think of like as pungently odoriferous.
Now kind
of
thinking about smelling it right now makes me want to die, but yeah.
Right, exactly. And just the act of her opening it, it was like I had been, it was like I had had a bathtub's worth of Cheez-Its dumped on my face.
Oh,
it was
God.
so strong, and it immediately made me sick. And she wasn't, and I wasn't like mad at her, of course, but I was like, Mom, you got to put those away. I'm going to die. She's like, what? I just opened them, like, I know, but I can smell them, and it's way too strong. So it's kind of like that. It's not as powerful of an impact comparing to back then for me. But yeah, it definitely shows that there's wonkiness with the nerves and everything as they're healing. So
yeah, it has something to do with it. Like attacks those cells that are responsible for sensing those smells.
Mucous membranes and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, I wanted to do a little bit of an experiment with this. Figured I would rope Jane in just for fun and such she could be the control group. Because like I said at the start of the video, this isn't something that I may ever be able to experience again. Like, and it really hit me the one day when I noticed, like, I can taste sweet, but not anything else about it, which is weird because you don't really think about that when you're learning what tastes are, how to identify that stuff. And without some sort of like major accident or, you know, some sort of birth defect or a sickness, it's not something that you likely ever will. So I figured it'd be a little interesting for you guys to hear our thoughts and our experiences with this. A little bit different from the normal gaming content that I do, but I hope some of y'all watch it and find it interesting because it's definitely an interesting experience.
Yeah, definitely very interesting.
And if any of y'all have had the vid and have experience with losing sense of taste, sense of smell, because I know not everyone does.
It's not a common symptom anymore.
Maybe with the new strain it's more common or something like that. Then let us know in the comments because I'm curious to see what your experience with it was compared to us. Especially, again, maybe if you had one of the older strains and it maybe hit you differently, anything like that. Let us know because this is a weird one. And perhaps given my background of being in the hospital and being a cancer survivor and everything, I find medical stuff like this interesting in a way, and I like kind of experimenting with it. So, you have anything that you would like to add or say or anything, darling, or should we wrap this one up?
Oh, I think it's pretty good. I think we're good to go.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Let us know your thoughts below, and we will talk to you all very soon. Content should resume normally here soon. I'm largely better. I've started taking cough medicine so I can actually function like a normal human being, and hopefully that means that we'll get back to some more streams and regularly scheduled videos and all that type of good stuff. But for now, my name has been Tom, otherwise known as Titanium Legman.
And my name is Jane, you know that. Never done an outro before.
And that's okay. And we shall talk to you all very, very soon. Thanks to my supporters. You can see them going by right now and probably have been for the last few seconds. Y'all help make this whole shindig possible. And we'll talk to you with some more stuff very soon. But until then, I hope you all have a good night. Stay safe and healthy out there. And remember, be good to each other. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.